Hi, listeners. We are here with Sister Scoop, our Marvel news segment, and we're going to get right into it this week because I'm very excited about this first one. Agatha All Along, our official name, has a trailer, has its first official trailer. And, I know they said they were leaning horror. I knew it was going to be Halloweeny, and I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. So I was excited. I'm pretty sure picked this as my top pick for the year. I am beyond excited, and to see this trailer, not what I thought we were getting, not even close, but I love it. I love it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I texted Katie yesterday. I mean, the fact that they used Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine as like the soundtrack, y'all, I have seen her in concert twice. I cried both times. Like, I have loved her for a very long time. And I mean, if you guys remember our Guardians 2 reactions, like that moment where they're playing her song is like one of the most iconic moments from that movie. It's such an emotional, like, moment. And then to come back and do a very different emotion with Florence because she
Yeah.
plays the whole thing. But to go from Dog Days to Seven Devils and have it fit perfectly in both moments, I was like, this is amazing. And also, I mean, to Katie's point, like, I wasn't expecting her to be a detective. Like, it was giving very much like, your procedural. And I was like, that's actually fascinating. I'm so excited to see where it goes. I'm a little terrified because I don't do well with horror at all. Like, not even like the little bit of horror this is going to be. I know they say it's going to be horror, but like I don't know how much I really believe that in a TV show. But even the little bit that they're going to give us at minimum is going to terrify me. So we'll see, but I'm excited. It's going to be so fun and I'm very pumped.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's about by any means.
Same.
Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know what we're going to get from this show. But even the little bit of horror they showed in the trailers, I was like, oh, okay. Like, this would freak me out a little bit, but like in a good way. I will enjoy this show. And so I'm excited. Obviously, there were some Scarlet Witch references, which I think for fans of the Scarlet Witch like me, we're all waiting for and we're eating up. We have Wiccan in the show, which we knew, but like we've seen him now. Obviously, Aubrey Plaza, one of my faves. I cannot. Oh, I'm so excited for her. So like I'm pumped about this. Again, I don't know what we're getting from it, but the horror right before Halloween, our witches, our coven. Marvel knows what they're doing with this timing.
Oh, 100%. And I'm excited as we go through the rest of the summer and into early fall. And we start to get more snippets, more,
Yes.
stills, and a little bit more color in terms of synopses and things like that. And people start to accidentally spill things in interviews and give us little clues. I'm really excited to start to piece together at least a little bit of a rough outline about what this is going to be about, but also to get back in the magic realm. I think it's something that we haven't had a chance to be in for a hot minute, probably since MOM. And I'm excited to get back there. I think there's a lot of interesting stories to be told in that realm. It kind of goes hand in hand with, some of the Midnight Sun stuff that's going to be potentially coming down the line. Doctor Strange kind of bridging both of those realms and that whole mystical, magical, fantastical werewolf by night type stuff that all goes together. Witches, werewolves, what do you think? They all, same category. And so I think that realm, building that out more and knowing that there's stuff coming, that just makes me really excited because it's different from so much of what we have in the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, it really is. And I just want a quick add. I mean, I'm excited because we are getting covens of witches, and that is so cool to me. Like, that is such a unique way to go with a lot of stories. And don't get me wrong, they exist in the comics and I'm well aware of that. But I think to your point, we've been away from it for a long time. You also just like name drop and added the Scarlet Witch into everything. And so
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to see there's more than just the Scarlet Witch and her entity out there. And I want to learn more. So it is going to be cool. And I'm very excited. But moving into our next topic, another show related one. What if season 3 could be the show's final season? And I'm not sure we're too shocked about this one.
Yeah, it is interesting. One of the execs over at, I believe, Marvel Streaming basically made a comment saying, hey, this feels like the end of a trilogy, which is interesting because from my perspective, there's an unlimited amount of stories that you can tell with
Yeah.
What If. So if you're gonna make any series continuously go on, it should be this one. However, one of the articles I was reading was talking about, they are kind of done with the multiverse, and that's not going to be the focus after Secret Wars and after the next phase. So it doesn't necessarily make sense to have a multiverse focused show. Sure, I get it, but I don't know. For me, I see what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, this was cool. And I liked that you were doing something really different and making me think differently about characters that I've known and loved for a long, long time.
Yeah, I think we talked about a little bit with season 2 how we were sort of discussing, what do they do next? Because you have the huge war with Vision Ultron or Ultron Vision, whatever he goes by. And then you had everything that happened in season 2, which I still can't really describe to any of you what really happened in that finale. And so I think we kept saying, it's just like Loki. What do you do next? What's the bigger next step? Because you're not playing around with the Earth or or I should say a villain on Earth. No, you're messing around with the entire multiverse. So I think that was part of the conversation. I think had they not done the show the way they did it, this could have been a very easy, endless show.
Yeah.
However, they focused it, and I'm not going to get into it, but they focused it on one specific character, continued to focus it on one specific character. And I think that's kind of where that ending starts to come because it's like, well, how much more can you have her do? And I do know there's been rumor about Captain Carter and Kahorti coming to, live action, which I would love to see Kahorti. I think we talked about that during her episode. She's really awesome. It would be cool to see that happen. So, with all that being said, I see where the ending now takes place. If we had just kind of done a bunch of single episodes and that's really all What If would have been, I could say, why would we end this?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think that format that they chose to go with, like that culminating point of each season and wrapping it up, it does kind of create then a more natural beginning and end versus like an always on show that just continues to explore, different timelines. Like even in the comics, there's almost an infinite number of stories that you can tell
Right.
or, characters that you can focus on that you don't necessarily need to have an entire show or movie about, on the big screen or on streaming in live action. And I kind of liked it as a vehicle for that as well. But unfortunately, or fortunately, if you like this format, the way that they chose to tell the stories in that kind of arc, building to a finale, it kind of does limit it. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see on that one. Either way, y'all know I'm waiting for season 3 because the teasers for season 3 that they've dropped, some of my faves are in those. So I'm waiting for it. But our final news point for this episode is that Lamorne Morris is in Spider-Man Noir show.
Yes, guys, Winnie the Bish himself is coming
My fave!
to a Marvel MCU adjacent property. Oh my gosh. Guys, Lamorne Morris is hilarious. He's great, but he's also done some more serious stuff, especially lately. He was in Fargo. I haven't seen it, but I heard he did really well. I love him as an actor. I think he's going to be fantastic. So he's going to be playing Robbie Robertson, who does exist in the comics and is actually someone who works at the Bugle and supports Spider-Man versus, J. Jonah Jameson not necessarily being his biggest fan. So super interesting. I'm excited to see how he plays off Nick Cage, who can do same way both that serious and also that really just zany, bizarre, funny. And I think they're going to be able to do both. Both are going to be able to do both together really, really well. And I think that's a really great dynamic duo to have in your show.
Yeah, I love him. If you didn't get the reference, we know him as Winston in New Girl, and we love New Girl, and we love him in it. So I'm very excited to see him join the MCU like this. I don't know what to expect from this in general, from this project. So we'll see. I think it's going to be great regardless. So I am very, very, very excited, and I'm excited for him to have joined. So more to come, hopefully, on that. But this has been this week's Sister Scoop. Make sure you guys join us again next week as we cover more Marvel news that's happening. And we'll see y'all next week.